Greetings, y'all. This is Fasha, the Earth Mother of EarthMotherGuidance.com. Girls do as they're told, ladies do as expected, and wild women do as they please. Today's topic is going to be boundaries. So, boundaries is a little tricky for most women because as girls, most of us are told, and I'll say, especially for Southern women, I found that we are raised to be polite, we're raised to be quiet, we're raised to be kind. They don't say submissive when you're a little compliant. You expect to be compliant. So, nice and kind and polite all sound really good, except for when it's in a way that is not teaching autonomy. And so I wanted to talk about, how setting boundaries looks, or how the violation of boundaries looks, because a lot of us don't know. One thing, because I wanted to talk about it, strangers first. Now, I know down here in the South, we tend to be a little more open and, communicative and, things like that. And I'm cool with that. But more than once, I've had a strange man walk up and feel like he could grab me, to get my attention. Or if I've said, no thank you, hey, can I get your phone number? No thank you, hey, and grab my arm or something like that. Believe it or not, it took me a while to be able to, respond the way that I needed to back them off. I was probably in my 30s when that really, really came about, when, I found a real good balance for myself. Because I went from one point of not saying anything, like, oh, well, kind of being not scared, but still trying to be nice and, compliant. And then I went to, the one who had the screw face all the time, which in some situations you do have to have a screw face. To now I have a balance. I can tell when a brother is complimenting me, but you still don't need to touch me. But I can tell when you saying, oh, you're a nice looking sister, whatever. And I can say, oh, thank you, and go on about my business. And a lot of that has to do with learning to feel energy. But we have to learn, well, we don't have to, but I would, suggest or invite you to learn to set up those boundaries. Explore what autonomy means to you, especially in the face of strangers. Also consider why, if you do, why do you feel that you can't establish a space with a stranger? Another interesting way of thinking about it is, because a lot of us in the conscious community, it's almost like you feel obligated to let people touch you. You gotta go in for the hug, and you gotta go in for the. I learned this weekend at a really nice event that I went to. I learned that I don't like that, and I'm a hugger. Like, I love hugging people, and I like real hugs. I have a girl. I started her locks. She gives the best hugs. I swear to God, it's like everybody needs to be hugged by her. Like, I really think that she could probably make money hugging people, seriously. But she don't just randomly do it, you know what I'm saying? This weekend I encountered a lot of, what did my daughter call it? She just said that people didn't respect boundaries, touching in the face happened to her. And, like touching, I usually have hair wraps on right now because I'm starting my locks again. And just grabbing at you, Yeah, so anyway, that whole thing, I want you to explore, how to set your boundaries. Sometimes you can do it physically. You can shake, when somebody comes in for a hug, you can offer a hand. You can offer a pound if somebody comes in for a hug. You also can consider not a full body hug. You can do what I call the sidewinder. when you throw your shoulder in and you kind of turn. And I would suggest, ladies, especially those of you who are gifted here, if you ever feel uncomfortable, but you're not so uncomfortable that you have to just offer a hand, if you want a hug but you don't want it to feel inappropriate, or you don't know dude enough to know if he's gonna be appropriate, throw your shoulder in his chest. I mean, I ain't saying like knock the wind out of him. I'm saying when you go in, give him a shoulder. Don't give him your great motherness. Give him the shoulder when you come in. Another thing with boundaries with strangers is, and this is gonna be boundaries with everybody, is offering opinions that anybody asks you for. Well, yeah, let's not do that. Lately, I've had quite a few people offer me opinions and tell me what I need when they don't know me. And I didn't realize how bad it bothered me till it piled up. I had, I won't give the instance because then somebody will see it and be like, I know she was talking about me. Because, in the South we say, you throw a stick in a pin to hit dog a holler. And I don't feel like hearing no dogs hollering. So, but I say over the years, I have had interactions with spiritual people who felt like they needed to tell me what I need. They needed to tell me what kind of classes I need to take, what kind of destiny I had, what kind of life path I have. Just constantly offering me this stuff, but you literally know nothing about my life. You know nothing about me. And I'm gonna tell you, the worst thing ever is with me is if it starts off with Spirit said. I don't want to hear that. I think I said it in another video. Anyway, but unwelcomed opinions. I don't need your opinion. And if you're a stranger, I probably don't care about your opinion. There are people on Facebook that I actually talk to. It was one sister, Candace. I was so excited to see her at the event. I was so hyped to see her. And we talked, about kids and kind of our lives and things. And there were times when you could feel the electrical charge, physically feel it. And so I felt connected to her. And then there were other people that looked the part, but there was nothing. There was, just a lot of opinions about what I need flying. And so, which takes us to mentors and spiritual leaders. I've had my fair share of mentors and spiritual leaders. Where I messed up, or where I had an opportunity for character growth and lessons over the years, is I always just assumed I was a student. I always assumed I was a student. Up until yesterday, I just always assumed I was a student. Now I give myself credit that just because we cross paths does not mean that I'm the student. You may be the student. So the boundaries for me with spiritual leaders, co-fingers, and mentors, or want to be mentors with me, want to be spiritual leaders with me, is again, probably with if you don't know me, don't offer your opinion. And no, I don't care about what Spirit supposedly told you about me. My thing has always been, since I've been aware of kind of how my spirit works and speaks to me, my own divinity works, is that God, Spirit, whoever is not going to talk to you before they talk to me. Anything you say to me will be confirmation. You're not going to tell me something new that I didn't already know. It's just not going to happen. And furthermore, what I realize now is that I know a lot more than I admitted to, because I wanted to fit. I wanted to fit into the categories. And so now I'm setting boundaries for myself because I'm not going to let you breach those boundaries. What did my friend say the other day? I think she said fight for your light. And I was like, yeah, because I've come too far. I operate in love. You know, even when my stuff get jacked up, I'm going to get up in love. If I fell down in hate, well, I don't never hate, but if I fell down in bad character, you know, bitching and moaning about something, best believe I'm getting up in love. Best believe that's my recovery. I'm getting up in love. Love looks different, you know, depending on who I'm dealing with, but it's always love. That's all it is love and fear. That's all you got to pick one. So my boundaries with spiritual leaders and mentors is, if my spirit don't love your spirit, then we just not meant to be in that capacity. One sister that's teaching a class with my daughter and does the astrology readings, I don't think she's like my mentor. She's probably my daughter's mentor, one of her mentors, but I never have seen her in real life, but I am connected to her. Like, I think she is amazing. I mean, I'm connected to it. It's other people that they have the most beautiful smiles, and you know, on the outside, if you were looking at them, you'd think, wow, they have such great energy. And then it's like a dry kiss. You know, the one that you think like, oh, this is gonna be so good, and then you get in for the kiss and it's a dud. It's nothing. Because you gotta, first of all, we not meant for everybody. That's the first boundary you gotta understand. Everybody ain't meant to connect with everybody on a deep level. Now, we all connected whether you like it or not. And I mean everybody. Male, female, black, white, yellow, red, whatever we want. You know, all the little colors in the rainbow and such. The blue people, green people, the rock people, the tree people, the wind people, the bug people, all them. All of us connected. But we're not all necessarily connected in a deep way. And I've also learned over the years that people feel closer to me than I do to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that everybody deserves to feel loved. But what I know about myself is that I love hard. Like, if I love you, I love you with my soul. Either it is or it ain't. And so I've had to set a boundary for myself. I have to, I don't even want to say protect myself, because in a way that sounds like I'm doing it in fear, but I've just learned how my heart works. That I can make you feel love but not be in a deep relationship with you. And there's going to be other people around you that are going to love you, you know, be in a deep relationship with you. But to me, love is love. Love perfected doesn't have levels. It just is. So you don't have to love somebody deeply or shallow. You can't. You either love somebody or you don't. But you can have deeper relationships with some people than others. And you want, one of your other boundaries is you want to know where people fall. Everybody is not your best friend. I'll tell you the truth. At 38 years old, I do not use that phrase, my best friend. I won't. I just won't. Now, I'll be honest with you. For me, something about it sounds juvenile. I hope that's not insulting, but I'm just saying that's my reason, is that something about it just sounds really kiddie. The couple of friends I have, because they're only a couple, I have different friends for different reasons. And I guess that's one of my boundaries too, is that if we're not close, I won't bring you intimate details of my life. If I've heard you tell me other people's intimate details, I won't tell you mine. Another Southern saying for you is a dog that'll bring a bone and carry one. So, Yeah, I could probably count my friends on one hand. I can count my sisters infinitely, but I can count my friends on one hand. Or maybe it should be backwards. I don't know. Maybe it should be I count my sisters on one hand, my friends infinitely. I don't know. But anyway, let me see. Friends and family. Okay, so especially for those who are not like the others in their families, as far as religious and spiritual, health, lifestyles being different, even child rearing being different, you gotta set boundaries. I had people say stuff to me about my diet, meaning my way of eating, and it's not like the video that I did where I was saying that my friend told me, you know, that I needed to take it back a step. That's different, because she actually knew what she was talking about, because she knows me. She knows what I do. She knows my eating struggles intimately. She knows most things about me intimately, so she can speak from a place of knowing. But if you taking a bunch of pills or shots or whatever, because you got all manner of illness, yeah, I'm gonna need you not to really chime in on what I'm eating. As far as spiritual and religious beliefs, I'm gonna tell you this. It's a difference at different ages most of the time, most families. When you're in your 20s and you doing stuff that people don't recognize, even the most non-Christian Christian will suddenly be super Christian around you. There's a young sister that I talk to periodically. I think she said she was 19. I think she said she was 19, and you know, she was meditating or something, and you know, it like freaked her family out that she was meditating. And you know, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, that's the devil, that's the devil," and I'm like, have you read your Bible or nah? So, I mean, I'm not really sure where they're getting that it's evil to meditate, but you got to set the boundaries. I mean, sometimes you can set boundaries by going ahead and saying, okay, let's have a time when you ask me questions, I answer them, and leave it at that. It's not going to be any discussions. You can write down the questions that you have for me, and I will answer them. I'm not going to discuss it, but I will answer your questions. You can say, I'm not discussing it at all. The only way I would suggest that as a boundary is if you've already discussed it and it always turns into an argument. The other thing is, if you are going to discuss it with people that you have that you spend time with, that are actually important to you, not those family members that you see once a year, not even the ones you see every 6 months. Who cares what they think? You don't see them. You know, it's like you can pick your friends, you can pick your what is it? You can pick your boogers, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Of course, y'all know I do feel like you pick your family before you get here. You pick your parents or whatever, but yeah, you can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. So, but you can pick who you talk to. You don't have to expose everything. You don't have to explain everything. And it comes a point, dear young ones who are in y'all's, teens and 20s, when people do come to respect you, as long as you stay respectable. You don't have to choose every battle. Honey, I was the one, my sister told me, she's 10 years older than me, and when I was younger, she said, well, you don't have to choose. No, she said, you need to pick your battles. And at that point, honey, I was a feisty thing. I said, I choose all of them. And I was serious. I chose every single argument, every fight. It didn't matter. I chose all of them. Now I'm just like, if I argue with somebody that I know is stupid, it's for fun, which I know I shouldn't do because that's not nice, but that'll be the only reason, because I have gotten past the point of trying to save everybody. Everybody don't want to be saved. Everybody's not going to be saved. But there will come a time, as long as you keep on your path, and as long as your path is one of good character, that people will come to respect you. I now feel like I have a better connection with both of my parents. I had a good connection with my mom anyway, but I feel like I have a better connection with both of my parents because I live a life of good character. Because they see that I'm happy. They see that my kids are happy. They see my husband is happy. They see that everybody is well developed, well fed, and healthy. There are people in my family that I just refuse to talk to. I have an aunt who treated me like crap one time. Then I mess around and against what I would normally do, gave her a second shot. She did it again. You ain't getting 3. I used to do 3 strikes you out. I'm not doing 3. It'll never happen. Not unless I won't say it'll never happen, but it won't be by my doing. It'll totally be some divine universal intervention. And I mean, it will be like having to call down all positive energy, because it's not a lack of love, but it's just that I love me more than I love everybody else. That's the self-love, the foundation, that I'm not gonna sacrifice myself for anybody, nobody. Not in that regard. Now, you talking about something happened to my kids, would I get out there, and save them? Of course. But also, if my children think that I'm going to choose their well-being, like if they get rebellious with me, and which has happened, they get rebellious with me, thinking that I'm going to go crazy, trying to get them to do right. No, ain't going to happen. Like I told them, I say, listen, this is a place in your life where you just hell-bent on being wrong. Go ahead. But I'm going to save my mental health for the areas of your life that you actually want my help in. But you're not going to drive me crazy. Self-love. So that's friends and family. Now, self-care and self-love. This is my self-love day. Mondays is my self-love day. So on those days, that's when I do whatever I want to do. And I protect my self-love days more and more fiercely, and I will protect them even more fiercely in the future. But basically, I think that everybody needs a self-love day. And it's just a day when literally I do what I want. I do things that make me feel good. Today I did do some business stuff, but it was stuff that made me feel good. It wasn't anything tedious. And I'm about to go eat something that I want to eat that ain't that healthy, but that's what I want. And it's my self-love day. And what else? And a lot of times, the interesting thing about my self-love day is that things come into alignment. So today, it was like I sold my first piece out of my Etsy shop, which is and on Etsy, it's created by Earth Mother. So it's www.com/shop/again, then created by Earth Mother. And I sold my first piece today, so big shout out and thank you to Divine Waters Womb Wellness. I'm so excited, honey. I ran to that post office to send that package out. So that happened, and then when the mail came, all this stuff I had ordered, don't tell nobody I ordered a bunch of stuff, but this stuff I had ordered came in the mail. And then one of my Facebook friends sent me a present, like a surprise or whatever, in the mail. I didn't even know she still had my address. I hope she still had my address. I hope it's not on Facebook somewhere. I didn't think about that. I think she had it from something else she sold a long time ago. But anyway, so it's like self-love, self-care. So that it's like with self-love or self-care, in this regard, they can kind of be used interchangeably. But it could be the day that you do stuff like do your nails, take a long bath. It's days that I put on whatever I want to, that's real comfortable, because I'm only gonna leave the house if I want to. It's the day that you relax. It could be a day that you take for your creative stuff if you don't get to do it any other day. And it's important that kids have those days too. And it's a day that if you want to be left alone, you are to be left alone. And if that means turning off your phone, turning off your computer, do what you have to do. For me, on Mondays, I sleep late, as late as I can anyway, which generally is not late because I still got up before 7 today. But I sleep as late as I want. and I sit in the bed as long as I want after I wake up, and I drink my water. And today I took a magnificent shower and washed my hair with she gonna kill me. What's her name? I know her name, but I can't remember the name of her company. Is Sophia's Soaps. Anyway, if you find her on Facebook, it'll be Mama Sunfire, or you can look up Sunfire, but it'll be SUNFIYAH. And she's amazingly gorgeous. So somebody named Mama Sunfire or Sophia Sunfire, or is it I'm Miss Present? Anyway, if you want to know who she is, let me know in the in the comments, and I go make sure I find it. But I bought some lemon balm soap or something. Anyway, it's intoxicating. That was part of my self-love. So I think this is gonna be my self-love soap. Like, I think I'm gonna only use that soap on Mondays, because it just felt like self-love. Like, it felt like I was loving myself, whatever. So anyway, yeah, so my boundary for my self-love day is that there will be no violators. Yeah, I do what I want. So anyway, I hope this helped. This is not, and understand, this is not a topic that I've conquered. This literally came to a head this weekend. Because, and I don't blame people for violating my boundaries. It's my fault that they violate my boundaries, because clearly I let it happen. Because I'm not really one that, if I don't want you to do something, you're going to do it anyway. So, I'm completely aware that it's on me, to protect my borders, to protect my boundaries and stuff for the United States of Fashayo. You will not cross these borders unless we let you in. So it's a work in progress. It's something that I'm working on, because I didn't realize it was a problem, but I'm having to uproot a lot of the stuff that I thought was gone. And that's why self-love, self-preservation, self-awareness, self-care is an ongoing thing. That's why it's an ongoing process. It's not something that's just gonna happen. It's an ongoing process all the time. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. I see you, and I sure appreciate you. Thank you so much to my familiar family for sticking in there. I appreciate all the comments and all that good stuff. It makes me feel like somebody's listening to me, and I'm not sitting out in my honeycomb hideout talking to myself. So, oh, and y'all, I received the best compliment from my friend's little girl. I ain't gonna show y'all my hair right now, but anyway, she told me I look like a sunflower, that my hair looked like a sunflower. And I looked at it, and it really did. So, but it felt like the best compliment, because y'all know that's my favorite flower ever. If y'all ever want to get me flowers, get me sunflowers. I love sunflowers. So anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate you. Peace, abundance, bliss, self-love, self-awareness, self-preservation. Set your boundaries, and Odabo.